Welcome to the Neen Valley Role-Playing Association, a group of friends who like to play RPGs. Let's role-playing games and try and have fun. If you like the video, please like and subscribe.
Good evening, and welcome back to the Adventures in Wildspace, brought to you by the Neen Valley Role-Playing Association. Last time out, had a visit to the Regar, and incredibly the awakening of your ship. Suddenly you find yourself with something that's a living, if not exactly breathing, thing, and that is capable, over short distances, of looking after itself, and even in extremis, flying itself. Although, deep in wild space, the helm still needs someone sat at it. Someone still needs to fly. But imagine the advantages when you land somewhere, just in case. If you need to land and then, the ship needs to stay safe, now it can look after itself. Incredibly useful. So what have you learned? Well, you've learned that, according to the information you've been able to glean, that the Oracles of Istus on March, the religious group that Megan was part of, have previously done business with Beldo Patchway's alleged assassin, alleged killer. And so we're heading to March to gather more information, perhaps to pursue that line, perhaps to do something else. Who knows? And so you fly in and land just at the edge of the island where the oracles live. Christine, was there something you wanted to say about Megan? Excuse me.
Bless
Not
you.
sure quite so much it's about Megan.
Or is there information that Megan wishes to impart? If there isn't, then we can save it for now. It's up to you.
No, basically in the journey across, because my colleagues were there when I was talking to the Regar about my box, and they saw some some of the tempting details on it a little bit, you know. But I've never really talked to them about the about this thing. They've seen the odd bit here and there where I've been cleaning it or making rubbings, making notes. But they've never seen the whole thing. And they don't know anything about it, where it comes from, whose it is, is it mine, what is it? But obviously when we were with the Regar, they discovered there that actually this box belongs to the monks and the oracles of Istus on March, that I am its current guardian. And basically the box is a mystery even to us. We know little of its origins. We have not really been able to decipher much by way of information about the carvings on its side. In fact, we are beginning the journey of discovery with it as an item. But I've never, as I say, really talked to them about it. So in the journey across to March, one evening, I sit down in the dining room and pull out the box. And my colleagues gather round, and I say to them, this box, it came into the possession of Abbot Silvarathan nearly 10 years ago. It was brought to the monastery by a mystery traveller who had taken ill on her journey to visit us on March. She'd been brought to the hospital for the monks to try and cure, but sadly she could not be saved. Before she passed, she had begged my brethren to take the box. Her illness had meant that she was in and out of consciousness and delirium, and she had left most of what she told us in doubt of its grounding in truth. The illness itself was a mystery as well to us. We had never seen anything like it before. It was a red rash that covered her body, two-thirds of her body, boils that exuded a green pus from under her armpits and around her mouth and in her hair. Her fingernails and toes were blackened as if frostbitten. Her breathing was ragged and crackled as if something filled her lungs, and she tried to speak, but her voice was barely a whisper. We quarantined her when she arrived, but the illness did not seem to be easily transmitted. The captain and the crew of the ship that brought her seemed immune, although, to be honest, they didn't stay long. They barely stayed long enough to push her out the door. Although, in fairness again, they did stay to ensure she was collected by us and made sure that her possessions were left with her. The box was part of her belongings. She had worried and called out on the first night, insisting that the box be brought into her room. But as she gained her trust in us and her surroundings, she realised that her time on this plane was coming to an end, and she decided that we were, in fact, her best and last hope of keeping the box safe and perhaps solving its mysteries. My brethren had come quickly to realise that she was beyond even their skills to cure, and we had instead turned our endeavours to trying to ease her last days. And to this end, we had encouraged her to talk about her worries and her fears. The box, it seems, had been a gift to her by a sultan's wife. The Sultan of Long Shadows. But their research, we've discovered nothing on this person. They don't seem to exist. We're not even sure if this was just another phantom of her feverish dreams. In her possession, she had a map of Enchant, but it's just a common map. And we saw nothing in its markings that gave any clue to why she still had it in her possession. Other than that, her notes were in a code that we didn't understand, we've never seen before. So we could garner nothing from those. So between her delirium and the illness that she had, we actually gained very little by way of any kind of information about her. The ship she came in on, they were another dead end. They fled on the first night, refusing to leave their ship even when they docked, even though we were concerned that they might have picked up whatever disease it was the lady was suffering from, but they insisted she had kept to herself and they were fine. They fled, and the identifiers they used on their ship before they'd landed had proven to be fake. So we had nothing, no leads to go on with them even as to where she came from. We knew nothing about her. My brother, Nim, he was given the task of researching the box when it first came to us. And he was pretty sure that the last image on the box, which is an image of seven-pointed star with 4 concentric circles coming out from there, that is a map of the Lucent system. But other than that, the other representations on this box, he could find nothing of their like in any of our literature or information that we have. Nothing to give us any clue of which direction to take our research in. My brother Lokag, who is the brother of Futures, he sought commune with our god Istus. He sought a direction, and it was that brought the abbot to me, because in the dreams that my brother was given, he saw me crouched over the box with the lid open. And so it is that brought this box to me, and why my journey started with it. But the secrets it holds, the stories it has to tell, what is inside it even, that is all completely unknown to us. The box is of a material, as you heard with the Regar, a material we think possibly could be from the World Tree. But even that I have literally only just learned, and the monks do not know that bit yet. They do not know that I have now discovered what some of the images of the sea creatures are. They were able to discover none of that, so I have hopefully taken their endeavour a little closer to its journey's end, but there is still a very long way and a long road to travel. She looks at her companions.
Perhaps I can give you another small piece. That Sultan of Long Shadows is on Solon, claims rulership of Ut, the second largest moon of Solon. Makes his money being the only safe stopping off point for hunters during the watery season on Ut, and getting kickbacks from some of the less savory nobles who have no questions asked enclave on the moon, or enclaves, some of them.
Indeed. I had not put the two together.
And if I see him, this axe is going in his skull.
Ah. Did he have many wives?
Concubines.
Concubines. How many of them were there? If we seek to track down the one who gifted this box to the traveller, how many do we have to seek?
I was eight
8?
when I left.
8, you 8.
I was sold to a mercenary company on my 8th birthday by this Sultan. Not an easy childhood. My mother was one
Indeed.
of the concubines, but as she was a Goliath, and so was I, it proved her infidelity. She was suffering great neglect. She can no longer be on this plane. There's no way. Zoltan is cruel.
Have any of his concubines ever broken free of his reach?
You must understand you're asking an 8-year-old this question.
That is true. Yes. Forgive me, sorry, yes. Well, somehow or other, this box seems to have been in the possession of one of his wives at some point. And she seems to have passed it on to this woman, perhaps to get it away from this Sultan, out of his reach.
Could easily be. Perhaps you and your monks can sort it out.
Perhaps. That is maybe something I can set them to searching for us. Well, thank you for telling us that, and I'm sorry if that has brought back memories which are unpleasant.
Just be well warned that no matter how many people are in an audience room, if the sight of him crosses my eyes, there will be a reckoning.
Fair enough. I am forewarned, and thank you for that.
It's one of the reasons I haven't gone back. Could be suicide.
Can I have a look at that map, please? The intent one.
Have you shaken the box? That's what we used to do when Oot was full, and they would hand out small gifts in the palace. Give it a little shake. No?
There doesn't seem to be any noise coming from within.
Maybe you shake harder.
It seems to be heavier than it should be for just the box. But then I do not know if that is the wood it's constructed from, or whether that is something within its interior that is very heavy.
Have you let the other minds that travel with us know of its existence, peruse its surface?
No, as you know, I have kept it very much to myself, mainly because it is not actually my possession. It is the possession of the monks on Istus. And while I am one of them, I am obviously currently on my travels, my journey to discover the secrets of this box. But it is not mine
You kept your secrets well. That's...
It is an item that has needed protection, and I must learn to trust before I will reveal its secrets openly. But you have all gained my trust over the weeks and months that we have travelled together. So I feel safe in seeking your assistance now. As to the map, I'm afraid that is with the monks. That is with the abbot. So I will ask him for that when we get to March, and ask him if he can pull that out of storage for you, so you can have a look at it, JL.
It might be somewhere I've been. I used to. Well, that's where I'm from, so.
It seemed a very common map, but we couldn't see anything on it that stood out at all. But then, to be honest, we couldn't understand why she kept it. It seemed as if it was a traveller's item that they would use to get around the city. But then, why keep it? I don't know.
It might have been very slightly altered, and if you're not familiar with the area, you might not notice.
True.
I don't know.
It is certainly something we will give a try to when we get to March. Yes, thank you. That could prove very helpful as well. And with that, she opens up the sides of this backpack, fabric backpack that she's created to sort of wrap the box in, and you can see this this box in front of her, which is 12 inches by 12 inches by 15 inches. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the right bit where it's been described to me. John, where's your... got it. So this box is 12 inches by 12 inches by 15 inches. Yeah. I feel that the wood itself is very old, which we've now learned actually probably is very much the case. The box has 6 intricate carvings on its sides. On side 1, there is a stylized star with 7 points. Around the outside, irregularly spaced, are 6 tiny spheres that look like planets. On the next side, there is a pattern of curves that put you in mind of an ocean, and this is the one that I showed to the Regar. It's reinforced by a myriad tiny carvings of tentacle creatures that are spread seemingly randomly throughout the pattern. And as we've now discovered, these creatures probably are the origins of the Regar, as they were before they came to this plane. On the third side, there is a strange geometric pattern that is deeply disturbing to look at. Parts of the pattern project from the surface with odd geometrices.
Geometry, I hope that says, but
that's it
I'm
probably does.
just trying to find the notes.
On the fourth side, keep up, Candy. On the fourth side, a large 7-pointed star in one corner and a small 7-pointed star in the diagonal opposite corner, and a series of 4 rocks in the space between them. They just seem to be carvings of surface of rock. That they're not actually inserts of stone in any way. They are just carvings, intricate carvings of different rock surfaces. On the fifth side is a carving that looks like clouds with strange flying beasts whirling through them. These creatures look like nothing in nature. Each beast is individual. And then on the final side, on the sixth side, there is another 7-pointed stylized star in the centre with, this time with 4 concentric circles around it. And this one, the monks believe, is an image of the Lucent system. But the rest of it, it's simply speculation because it has a match to so many options of systems that they could be. So we were able to decipher nothing from the other images. I've tried pushing and pulling and sliding and turning. Nothing on these faces, on these facets seems to move. There's got to be a clue somewhere, but I don't know what it is. I can tell you that the box, we tried detect magic on the box. Our greatest wizards and tried to dispel. They couldn't. It's impossible to remove. It just radiates an intense abjuration magic, and this magic has prevented all attempts to scry what's inside the box. We've tried fire on it. We've tried tools of every kind you can think of from our woodworking system to try and get into the box. Nothing opens it, marks it. There's not a scratch on it. It's almost in near perfect condition, which belays its age. This thing is hundreds, if not thousands, of years old. Sorry, so yeah, she stops now. Looks at Shaggy.
Maybe tens of thousands.
Oh,
If
well.
what the Regar said is true.
Indeed.
How many? What was on the top of the box? I'm interested in the stars with the circles. So you've got on one side of the box, you've got a 6-pointed star and a smaller 6-pointed star with 4 stones, but they're carved, not actual stones, right?
You've got on the first surface, you've got a stylized star with 7 points. Around the outside, irregularly spaced, are 6 tiny spheres that look like planets. So a stylized star with 7 points, and around the outside of that star, you've got 6 tiny spheres that look like planets.
Okay, and then the second.
Then you've got the second star system one is a large 7-pointed star in one corner, with a small 7-pointed star in the diagonal opposite corner, and a series of 4 rocks. I was thinking maybe asteroids or something along those lines, but 4 rocks in the space between them.
Just had a thought.
Okay, and the third one? Sorry, Pete.
The third one is another 7-pointed stylized star in the center, this time with 4 concentric circles around it. And this is the one that, as I say, the monks believe is the Lucent system.
Okay,
so that one we think we've identified. The other 2 we're still unsure about.
Right. So you need to look at star maps then.
We have looked at as many star maps as we had in our libraries at the monastery.
Okay.
And
well, we've got an orb.
We have a fair number.
We've got an orb.
We've got an orb that has even more star maps.
Yeah.
I would suggest you look for
and they're old star maps as well.
I would suggest you look for the 7-pointed star, which would indicate a larger sun, maybe, with 4 planets circling it, and then adjacent in the same format. So if north is that way, it would be a southeasterly direction, a slightly smaller star with 4 planets on it. Then maybe that's the area that you need to go to.
Well, we could just try asking the orb if it has anything matching.
All 3 sides.
Well, any of the sides.
And you could also ask the orb.
We may be wrong in our deciphering the system that the third image portrays is the Lucent system. We could be wrong in that. So it's worth showing the orb all 3.
Yeah,
well, if we tell the orb that we believe it's
given the age of the orb, given the age of the box, things would have changed since it was created. Presumably,
try it first, just showing the orb the 3 sides, and then if there's all failure, then say we think this one's the Lucent, and let it pattern off of that.
But you see, what's confused
let's
me,
not prejudge it.
What's confused me is I make items and I imbue them with magic.
Yes, you do.
My items that I imbue with magic, if you were to use Detect Magic, it would tell you that there's a magic item in your proximity. If you've cast Detect Magic on this and it's not returned anything, then I would
It does return
say...
something.
Sorry?
It does return something. It returns abjuration magic.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said that it doesn't. Right, okay.
Oh, no.
That's-
Our finest wizards have only been able to basically decipher that it exudes a very strong abjuration magic, but they've not been able to break past it.
I mean, it could be that it's a proximity type thing. When you get close to where the box needs to be or attuned to, then it will release more information, maybe.
Will it? I do not understand magic well enough to know if that is...
Don't know. It could be. If it's a ritual type thing, then maybe it could be written into the ritual magics. That yeah.
There are certain magics that trigger under specific
Conditions.
lights or conditions. So
Yeah.
perhaps the light
I mean,
of a particular star.
I mean, I would say that's extremely high level magics. So somebody's been at it a very long time and has mastered its arts. But
Doesn't look like an apprentice piece to me.
no, definitely not.
the skill that has gone into this box, this is most definitely not an apprentice piece. This is a master's work.
So how about we ask the orb?
Yeah, because the other place we've seen lots of geometric shapes was on the waypoint, and that's where we got the orb, wasn't it?
Yes.
If the Regar came from another plane, maybe it's to do with traveling between planes, maybe.
Well, that's yes. I mean, it's the it's nothing that says it's this plane.
Mm.
In fact, the Regar said it's the wood it is made of is not from this plane.
Yeah. Yeah. So the star charts for here may not even.
But let's
exist
ask
where we
the
are.
orb and see what it says.
Yeah, I think so.
That's, I think, our first step. We can speculate and, well, the orb is right there.
Yeah. Have you got to return this, Megan, anytime soon?
No, this is now my journey, and the monks are trusting me to take this, hopefully, to its journey's end. As I say, my brother saw me kneeling in front of the box open. So they are trusting to Istus that this is the right path for the box to travel with me.
Well, maybe if Lovlor stops referring to her chest area every once in a while, she might actually give you a clue. However, that said, I do think that Lovlor and Varo are correct. You would be best to speak to the orb because you are very familiar with the box. So you will instinctively know exactly what to ask and how to ask it. Whereas if anyone else were, then it would be a buffoonery job. The likes that, it would come out worse than one of my worst flags. So that's what I recommend, Megan. And then if you do it out loud, we can all hear what he says. It says...
Okay. That's what I shall do then. I don't know, have we stuck this orb, or have we done with the orb at the moment? Is it just hanging around loose and free?
I've made another. I've copied the wooden plinth that we had in Heart of Gold, and I basically remade another one whilst we've been flying. It took me less than 24 hours, so we've been flying for longer than 24 hours. So currently the orb is back on its plinth, and I would say maybe near the helm, but maybe it's in the center of the ship instead, because then we've got full front and rear coverage of the area for the communication. So below deck, exactly where JL is, possibly, as a putting it out there kind of thing, you know. So yeah.
Well, do you want to indicate on the map? I've just brought the ship map up. Obviously, you have your rooms on the lower deck. There's the common room, this area on the upper deck. Do you want it in the common room?
10, 11, 12, 14. So 7.
Space on the helm over here, if you want to.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, well, this area here.
Yes.
On any of the decks would work, because that's dead center of the ship.
Just here, because this is outside.
Oh, that's outside. Okay. In that case, it would have to be here then. Okay. So what I would do is I would modify it so we can basically suspend it from the ceiling, so we're not cracking our heads on it. Or no, actually, we'll leave it on the floor, and I'll just move these 2 barrels around, and that will be the orb's new home.
So you're going to place it. You're going to place it just here. Fair enough. No problem at all.
Are you pinging the map? Because I can't see anything.
Yes.
We're pinging the interior map.
Yeah, the interior. So scroll down.
The interior map.
You need to scroll down.
Yeah, I have scrolled down. I'm just not seeing any pings.
I am.
If I ping that, can you see that?
Yeah,
This is
that's
a
the common
green
room.
thing, yeah.
Okay, that's my ping. Someone else ping.
Go down one more. One more layer.
There's only 2 layers.
Rob's pinging like bonkers.
Me too.
I can't
As
see
is John.
anything.
I'm
No,
thinking-
I can't see
pinging.
it.
They're going ping, ding, ping, ping,
Never
ping,
mind.
ping.
It doesn't really matter, but I'm just not seeing it. So
Right, Lovlor, Pete, you see Lovlor's room?
yes.
Right, to the right-hand side of that, there's 2 barrels.
In the
right there.
Yeah, directly to the right, there's 2 barrels.
yeah.
Are you seeing the burn right now?
So I'm going to move. I've moved the 2 barrels off to one side, and that's where the orb's going to now be housed.
Pete,
Are
now
you seeing that burn? Are you seeing that burn on the map, Pete?
Burn? No.
Like
That's
it's like
a no.
a flame. Looks like it's on fire.
No.
Everybody else
You might
want to.
you might want to refresh your screen.
I'm going to
I'd
refresh.
refresh.
Hang on.
I think
Refresh for 20.
you've fallen
Right.
off a bridge.
I'd
Let's
love
do the
to
magic
see-
one. There you go.
Hang on.
Everyone's
Hang on.
seeing the magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I saw that. I'm seeing the ping now. There we go. I saw
Right.
a blue ping.
There you go.
Yeah. There it
So,
is. Yeah.
so
I got it.
where those 2 barrels are, I've moved those out of the way, and that's where the orb's going to sit. If we want to cover him over or whatever, then I'll affix a curtain around it or something daft like that.
Good job. He's a computer. And
I think
it's
you mount it
kind
on a
of
bracket to the wall.
not offended by being kept in the cargo hold.
Well, it's either that or we put him up in the common room area, but I wanted it to be more centralised. Here would be better.
How is
Because
that
then
centralised? The common room is going to be centralised because that's
No,
2
'cause
levels down from the deck.
it's 14 squares from this wall or from this wall to there, and that's 7 squares.
Yeah, but you're on the lowest deck.
Yeah, but this area here is outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
But I
wouldn't be that one,
mean-
would it? Seven would actually be
Oh,
this
yeah.
one just
Or
here.
somewhere around here or here. Or
And if you
Yeah.
if you did it one over and went 6, you'd be
So-
inside the common room. So if you went
so-
to literally this side of the
honestly,
door,
I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean,
Put it where you want to.
it's out of the way just there, okay? and we're not going to trip over it unless somebody turns really hard and he falls off.
Are you not mounting it to a bracket on the wall? Yes.
Can do.
Yes, you are.
I can do whatever.
Otherwise, it's going to get kicked around like a football.
Stand into the deck. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean, I hope it's not disturbed by snoring, because I mean, it's right next to Lovlor's room there.
Definitely put it next to Varo's room.
Well, I have asked it every night to just project or emit a sharp sound that giant-like people find irritating.
I'm not sure you shouldn't put it in the dunny and over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then every time we go for a crab, we've got somebody to talk to, right? I mean, it's bad enough that every time I hear JL go to the toilet, I hear all of the trade things that she wants to get involved with Salnam over, because she forgets that we can all hear her. Oh my god, that was huge! Was one of the comments I heard.
Do we have to charge in at night? Does it sit there all night and go? Charge to 1%.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, but my thinking is if it's down there, we've covered the whole ship. I mean, technically, it doesn't matter where it goes because it would cover the whole ship anyway, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, orbit.
I don't give a damn. We're just spending way too much time deciding where this freaking orb is going. Let's ask the bloody orb if it can find the freaking maps. Come on.
Let's do the questions. Let's do the questions.
Okay, so I trundle downstairs to the bedrooms and trundle into the cargo hold and take the orb off the wall and bring it upstairs again to the common room where we're sitting studying this box that I brought up.
Oh, wait, no, you forgot the key. I'll give you the key. Now you've got to go back down and get it out the thing on the wall.
And then
none of you were there anyway, so you know.
I hold this.
We're all on the deck. Yeah.
Hold the orb over the box and the images, and ask it to scan the images. Is there anything that it can see that it can reference to a map that it holds within its systems?
So it starts to orbit. So it starts to analyze. In fact, it just says to you, analyzing. And you sort of hold the box in front of it and rotate it. Sat on a little stand.
Is there a little progress bar that we can still see in the middle of the...
10% uploaded.
Says to you, turn box, top, square. You kind of go, other, turn it. And you
I get Lovlor to help me turn the box round and reposition
You
it.
can hold it. It doesn't weigh that much. It's not. I mean, it's dense, right?
I've been carrying this thing around for how many months? I know it's, it's something
So
I can do. I
for
can move
example,
around,
it's
not a
like
problem
picking up that,
whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not as heavy as the orb. Put it that way.
It's just I happen to have another handful with a plate of food in it. You see, so I've only got one hand free at the moment. So,
Right. So you're trying to eat your lunch and have a conversation.
Yeah,
Which is slightly unfortunate because the outside of the box is now covered in greasy finger marks where you've been.
No, nothing sticks to this box. I've tried.
Oh, it,
Go
it
back
doesn't
to
stick if
go
you
back
take it
to the-
off, but it does
Back
stick
to the
when you-
chopsticks. Slurping up
Fair
the
enough.
noodles.
Fair enough. I'll do the maneuvering of the box.
You turn it around and you point it's you've been kind of turning it around and it's been and you can tell that it's the kind of the grey stuff within it is swirling away. every so often you see one of these little flashes, these little motes of light that you think are some kind of magical process within this thing, and it flickers somewhat as as you're moving this box around, and it confirms this.
Oh my god.
Confirms. Okay.
And it looks at it, confirm possible match. Sector 3, system Argix. And you're like, okay.
Oh.
Hmm.
Turn. Opposite end.
Turn the box again.
Confirm, likely. System you call Lusan. One other possible match. And you turn it around, and it gets to the one that's got the two, the big star and the small star. System referenced as Verdika. Possible match. No other matches found.
Now, if Shaggy had a mouth, he would be grinning at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I knew using the orb would garner lots of information in a very short space of time.
Mm-hmm.
Distance to Sector 3 system Argix. Argix.
Two? Are they both broken though? Oh wow, you got them out. Well done.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Deka system, we've also been there, haven't we?
We have.
Whilst we're waiting for the orb to calculate the distance.
Very nice.
That'd be good to reference, wouldn't it? See what we know.
Yeah.
We've been to the
Verdika's-
Verdika system, did you say?
I believe we have, yes.
I've heard I've heard. I can't keep track of these things.
We've heard it a couple of times.
It'd
There
be
we
useful
go.
if you had a
March.
notebook that you guys could maintain that had all of these things in
There
there.
it is.
Gathered up all of the information that I've,
Yeah.
that I've been putting into Discord for all this
yeah.
period of time.
Here, it's a nice time for you to do a screenshot, Christine. To
That's
throw in
got
there.
5. That's got 5 planets.
So if we match that up,
Oh, it's got 4 planets.
I've never seen all those planets. I never saw it had 3 on it. I've never zoomed out
Not
before.
far enough to see the whole map.
I've never zoomed out before now. Oh, look at that.
I'm missing a planet.
Are you?
Seriously,
4,
Christine.
5,
A
Mark,
screenshot
Delta, or
might be nice.
Got
Oot
6.
and Teen.
7? Are
I
they
thought
behind the
Teen
people?
was the star.
Tain is the star.
Okay.
So you've
there's
got
only
1, 2,
four-
3
Well,
planets
there's only
and
3
Craxis.
planets.
And Craxis
Yeah.
isn't a planet.
It is not.
Oh.
No.
No, so that's only got 3 planets, but on the from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the third ring going out, there is no planet in that proximity.
Don't read
So
anything into the orbital the lines. Don't read anything into the lines. Or the scale for that matter, particularly.
So hang on. The image that the orb thinks matches to the Vedika system.
Mhm. It thinks it's a possible match, yes.
It thinks it's a possible match. How many things are on that?
4.
4.
4.
That's the
John,
4
okay.
rocks. Is it
4
floating between
rocks.
2 stars?
4 rocks.
4
But
rocks.
Tain is. Hang on. So Tain is another star. Is it a binary
Correct.
system?
It is in effect a binary system, yes.
Right.
Okay.
But there are 4 rocks.
Tain is a very small star. It's right on the bottom end of star size.
Okay.
There's
Right. So
what if it's
is
4
this from an
rocks?
age before Saneem's belt was formed, when there was like a planet there and it was being broken apart?
Possibly Craxis would have been a planet.
well,
Mm-hmm.
who knows, huh? Why would you have an asteroid belt? Could it be that because there was something there and it got busted up into bits?
Yeah.
Well, or it just never formed a planet. I mean, many ways you can do it.
Yeah, this is the cosmological shenanigans here are not as physically accurate as you don't need a PhD in astrophysics to understand them. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But it is
Well, let's do it.
interesting
Yeah.
that Sunim's belt is looking
belt.
at
Yep.
looking at the map that we've got here. Craxis is right in that belt, so it would make sense
it's
to
another
me
asteroid.
that was a planet, and Craxis is the largest shelf that was left that people have actually
There are
habitated.
larger asteroids. There are larger asteroids in Sunim's belt.
Maybe there's something special about that one, though.
Okay.
Maybe. So,
So,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's got a giant whale hovering over it.
yes,
It's true.
huge. Maybe it was the whale
There's
that
enormous
accidentally ran into the planet and broke it, and then decided to stick around to sort of like look after the inhabitants that were left.
Probably.
that whale would have had to be going at some speed.
It's as if a billion souls all cried out at once and then were suddenly silenced.
That's no whale.
But yeah, interesting to work out what happened there. So maybe thousands of years ago it was completely different, as Megan said.
So sorry. Coming back to the box, we've got an image on the box with 4 stones on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Are they anything in particular about those stones that would indicate that one of them was different from the others?
No, all 4 are different. They're different shapes and they're different textures. They are carvings in the wood. To point this out, because one of the questions that Christine asked me when we first talked about this was
Different shapes, different textures, right?
Yeah, is any of this,
So knowing
like-
that it's the Vedika system doesn't necessarily help us any, because there's no. It's a big system.
It is.
If there's something in the system, the box, this map is of no use.
As far back as we can trace the origin of the box, it's in the Vedika system,
No, we don't know how old
right?
the laver is. You might know.
The box came from one of the concubines of the Sultan of Long Shadows. That's the second moon of Ut, Solan.
Okay, so still in the Vedika system then.
Yeah.
Megan, would your brothers say with pride that they have the oldest library in the system? Is that something that the Brotherhood on March can boast about?
They won't boast and they won't use pride. Come on now. They're monks. They might say it.
Help me out here, John. Do I know of an older library?
Enchant, but obviously
Is their
not
library
in the Vedika
famous?
system.
Is this the
Is the
Lost
Oracle's
library?
library famous?
Mhm.
No. The Oracles have a reasonable reference library.
It's a pretty extensive reference library, but
It's reasonable.
Where would
What the Oracles also have
your
is the secret archive.
Shh! Don't tell them
But
about the secret archive.
is not open.
It's a secret.
because
It's a
it's
secret.
No, it's.
Oh, I'm
people
gonna have to
know
kill them all
it.
now.
They know it exists.
What'd you tell them that for?
The secret is not the archive. The secret is the contents of the archive. So, it's
The
what the
secret is not
Oracles
that the secret
do.
exists.
So it's
Right.
more of an archive of secrets.
Don't
Correct.
worry. Don't worry, I'm a rogue now.
So what the Oracles do is they have groups of people who spend huge amounts of time in religious trance states trying to receive messages from the plane of vibrations, and when they receive something they write it down and they keep a record of it, but those records are not accessible to anyone. They are a secret thing of the Oracles. People have tried to turn up and boss them around a bit, and it's never worked out very well. They've often had their
Seems like
asses
we've
kicked.
gathered a lot of information here for you to turn over to your sect. Does anyone else have anything to add about this box?
yeah.
Well, I did have a question of the orb as to how far it was to
Which still needs to be answered.
Argix.
Mhm.
And I was going to say something, but John spoke.
You speak, mate.
Well, you need to answer Pete first because he's been waiting longer.
We're in a queue.
Yeah. I'm sorry, caller. We value your call. You are currently number 3.
I wasn't going to answer Pete on the basis that I'm just being snotty for no reason. So, Pete, the answer to your question, the orb answers and explains to you the location, and you realise that it is in the Scortha Reaches.
Okay, I've heard of that one as well.
That's the Illithid Empire, isn't it?
No, it is not.
No. Damn it.
So that's the Far Seas Nebula, which is kind of in the middle of the extent.
Right.
It's kind of at the western end, for want of a better way of putting it, it's kind of the western end of the extent. Is where the Scortha Reaches are. You've actually been to the Scortha Reaches because that's where you got the orb from.
Did you put a map in?
It's sort of like the southern
Discord?
end of the Scortha Reaches. So it's actually sort of kind of at the opposite end of the Scortha Reaches, and Varo knows that the Scortha reaches, at some point there
Alex
were
is in the
one or
shorthand
more
reaches.
planetary systems in there, which were destroyed in some way, shape, or form, because there are stellar remnants and there are planetary remnants and there are nebulas, and it's a fairly kind of tight, fairly chaotic area. But you know that there were other systems in that area, and this must have been one of them.
So, Megan, apart from the secret library, or the library of secrets, which we're not going to be able to walk into. You might, but we won't.
Secret archive.
Okay. Where would you go if you wanted to research something that... Hang on a minute. Orby?
Yes.
How far back do your map, does your knowledge go? Does it go back thousands of years or hundreds of thousands of years? Map-wise?
Unclear.
Can you tell me if the Vedika system ever had 4 planets in it? And how long ago?
What you call Vedika originally had 4 planets.
How long ago?
I have adjusted my internal map to confirm that one of the planets no longer exists.
Can you send an
I keep a
image
record
of
of
that
the old
map
map.
to our minds so we can see it?
Yes, in effect, the orb can kind of describe to you, and the orb describes that there was a planet in the orbit that is now Sunim's belt. So it
Okay.
looks like there was a planet there, and it's now gone. It's now in bits.
Very nice.
So,
What's interesting about this? No, sorry, that was no.
so Megan,
Scortha reaches. Sorry.
The
Sorry,
Scortha reaches, yes.
Yes. That's the only note I've got about that is filled. Is that right?
Okay.
The
So-
large group of Goliaths live on this planetary remnant. Their civilization founded by former slaves who escaped the cloud giants.
That's correct. That's all you have got so far about the Scortha reaches in terms of probably written stuff that I've sent to you. Yep.
Yeah.
But you've been to the Scortha reaches when you went and recovered the orb from the Crystal Fortress. So that's part of the Scortha reaches.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's a
But
big
that
area
giant-
of the Scortha reaches.
So the giant statue was, isn't it? The other
That's right.
little
That was in the Scortha reaches. That was on the
Yeah.
edge of the Scortha reaches. Yeah.
yeah,
and the gateway thing that was there.
the
as
2
well.
gateways, yeah.
There were a whole bunch of things at Scortha reaches. Yeah.
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 Absolutely right.
So, Megan, you've got the box that was given to the monks by a lady that came from one of the moons of Oot.
Hey? How do you know she came from one of the moons of Oot?
Because you said something about the Sultan of Shadows, and Lovlor said that he comes from the 4th moon of Oot.
Second.
No,
Second moon of Oot. Sorry.
I said that she was gifted the box
By a courtesan.
by a courtesan or by the wife of the Sultan of Long Shadows. But we'd been unable to discover anything about the Sultan of Long Shadows. We couldn't even find them as an existing
Okay.
person.
How you know.
But Lovlor then told you where the Sultan of Long Shadows comes from.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's in the Vedika system.
Yep.
a long while ago, there were 4 planets in the Vedika system. Now it's only 3 in Craxis. Okay. So maybe we need to hone our senses within the belt itself to see if there's any remnants of something that might act as a key, or we try the Argix, system Argix over in the Scorth Reaches and see if the box resonates with something.
I'm sorry, did we have a Lusan?
Would you like to see would you like to flick you to the Lusan system? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ancient.
So, how long ago did
It's got 5 planets.
this
Thanks.
courtesan provide this box to your people?
I'm afraid that the mystery traveler never told us. We never even truly discovered her name. She called out occasionally.
The Sultan of Long Shadows is a weasel, a human.
Is a human.
So their lifespans are what they are. So this courtesan would have been within at least our lifetimes, if not still alive. Wonder where she got it. Just a thought.
That could also be the abjuration magic, Lovlor, because it prevents or reverses harm. So maybe I'm just throwing out a really, really two-headed fish here, okay? But maybe she managed to open the box, key her psyche, blood, essence into whatever is inside it, and the magic of the box itself restricted aging, organ aging, and things like that.
Or she opened the box, and that's where she got the disease that killed her.
Possibly.
Pandora's box.
It was
like a really slow version of the Ark of the Covenant.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if it's abjuration magic and it prevents or reverses harm, what greater way to extend your life than to get poisoned or diseased? And then the box basically gradually, so it's a constant give and take between the two. And then you live for a good few thousand years and you get bored with life, and then you will yourself not to actually regenerate anymore. Or she's had 13 lifetimes and then she can't regenerate anymore.
Was the sick person?
Okay, so now the box is a TARDIS. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Who knows? Who knows?
Was the sick person the courtesan? I didn't think that was the case.
No.
That
She was not the courtesan.
Question. When did that person provide the box to your people?
To this traveller. That, as I say, I do not know. She was never lucid for long periods of time. So
when did
those
that
details
person get dumped onto your planet?
Oh, 10 years ago. About 10 years ago.
So my original theory, my original postulation that perhaps a side trip is in order after we've discussed things with the knowledgeable monks. If you'll
Well-
excuse me, I have some forms to go through. And I loosen the axe in my belt and head out to go work on my. I've got to get back in fighting shape.
Gotta get the edge of that axe right sharp.
Oh yes. And I am dedicated to that at this point. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Of course, the other place to go if you're looking for a large library and extensive archives on ancient artifacts would be Enchant in the Loose Sand system, which also seems to be referenced on this box.
Mhm.
Well, as I say,
not
the,
Ranthus, right? Not Ranthus.
I do have some contacts at the university there.
Wait. Not Ranthus, correct?
Hmm?
Ranthus.
Ranthus.
That's a moon.
Yes. One of the moons of enchantment.
Oh yes, no, no. Enchant.
Okay.
Can I
Completely
just
different planet.
ask the question? 112 years ago, I believe quite a few magical items were stolen from one of the museum sort of storage places on Enchant, weren't they, Varo?
Mostly returned now. I think you'll
Was
find.
there by any chance in that list of things that were stolen and is still maybe missing a box that's 12 inches by 12 inches by 15 inches?
No, there's only one item outstanding,
Yes.
and it's not a box.
There's one
Ooh.
item outstanding that has not been either been returned or spoken for
What
in
is it?
some way, shape, or form.
What is? Could it be inside the box? Mm.
No,
Mm.
it's not a box.
Probably not.
Is
What
it too
is it?
big to be inside the box? What is the missing item? Come on.
The missing item
Yes. Yep. Give the information.
is the seal of Tredigor.
Ooh.
What?
Seal
I've
of
already
Treadle.
got one. Just
In fact, I think there might be a spare one at the bottom of a pack.
Oh, I love spell check. Seal off radar.
We've got.
Seal of radar.
I told them we've already got one.
I told them we already got one. Hmm.
Okay, well, not much anyone can do until we actually dock at March, so I'm going to go and put Lovlor through his paces.
All right.
I think the main thing, so obviously they've done a lot of research on the box already. The new information we have is potentially the connection to the Regar and the Regar origins. So we can maybe get some more information in March. Sorry, at the monks.
To be brutally honest with you, Megan, a quick question. You understand that as we fly this ship and we go into port and we do what we've got to do and we worry about our retirements, how much is this knowledge worth to your order? Is this
I think the
something
question
that...
the question might be how valuable it is to everybody's existence. This is something which seems to have its roots in the world tree. And that
my
was the beginnings.
experiences of fighting for the greater good usually end up with a really small sack of gold.
I think if we can trace the origins of this particular item, the riches that may come from that could be far greater than a sack of gold.
It'll make us feel good.
Almost certainly.
In my experience, monks have short pockets and long memories.
My only experience of adventure with the world tree and doing everything right and what have you is from JL's book about Mugsy's Marauders, and they ended up with a vampire in an inn at the end of it.
Not a bad ending, by the way.
I'll take a short break.
Sorry, JL, I didn't mean to tell you the ending.
I had to start
No,
again. The
take a short
ship wanted.
Hey, it's a good
Right.
story, though. It's a good story.
We'll be back in a minute. And we're back. Somebody making funny noises. I don't know who that is. Right. So, is there anything else that we want to discuss or think about with respect to the box? Or you want to discuss, think about any other questions we need answering? Are you still heading in towards March? Are you still going to land in March, or are you going to?
We might as well while we're here.
Yeah.
But I still
At the
think our
very
next stop
least-
should be Enchant.
At the very least, Lovlor can get to know. Oh, what's she? Sister. I can't think of her name.
Isis.
No, sister Balak.
Balak.
Again. Yeah,
About,
she's the female dwarf who's the head of the brew house.
She gave
And
us.
I've got
some
a
stuff.
little note here from Lovelaw that says, "Lovely lady gave me a crate or two of the latest
did.
batch to stock the Golden Heart with. Pretty sure it was actually just for me, as she only gave us 3 barrels and 50 bottles, barely enough for a good night out."
Yes, do remember her.
Yes.
Yep.
Right, it's okay. I was going to say something, but it's just straight out of my brain.
And it would be quite handy for me to get to have a chat with Father Silvo Bigheart, who's the head of the herbarium there. Get a few more few herbs for the potions that I concoct for us.
Hey,
Get a good
players.
discount.
Cool. Any objection that we just move to John's description of us landing? Okay, sorry. I'm just.
So no, we
Yeah,
were
no.
asked whether or not we were still heading that way. So yes, we are. To stock
let's
up
do
on
it.
a few bits and
Unless
pieces.
something happens between now and then,
Yeah.
like an attack or pirates or
Oh my
I
god!
think that
Our ship's
Huge.
bigger than the whole system.
might be. No, it's just very close, whereas the system is very far away.
So it's all about our perspective.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that just popped up on my screen. That's how long that.
Yeah, it did to me too. Oh god,
love it.
It's huge.
I love it.
I wanted to have a tiny
Make a little
Oh,
icon.
there it is. That'll do.
Yeah.
icon so we could put it.
You'll move it around the
So
map.
you kind of knew where you
Lovely.
were, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, cool.
I like it.
So you've landed at March. There you are. You're landing at March, just to give you a visual sort of reference of where the ship was. Okay.
Fresh air.
You come in off the sea, skimming in and landing neatly. It's not working. I do apologize. Next to the dock and tying up. And you step ashore. And a couple of monks wander over towards you. And as soon as they see Megan, they realise who it is and they come over and greet her. I do apologise. I'm trying to get to here. There we go.
Cool.
So your ship is just here.
I'm sorry, you pinged. Ah. Yep, got it.
It's probably a little too large, but for the size of your ship. But actually, there's a finite space
Yeah.
that you can get these things down to. Okay, so where are you heading first? And what is your plan for while you're here?
For myself, I think my plan is to catch up with Abbot Silvarathan. Tell him what I have discovered. To ask his advice on where he thinks I should take my research next, if any. And also to try and get the map from him that the Lady Traveller had of Enchant, so that I can pass it along to JL for her to take a look at. See if there is something that we have maybe missed in the possessions that this woman had on her.
All right. So, the abbot is busy, but we'll meet with you later so you can organise that.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Lovely.
meantime, is there anything else any questions that you want to ask? Is anybody else looking for any information while you're here?
Gregorus,
if
why
you
don't you and
can,
I-
Varo.
go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead.
No, just Shaggy and I will do replenishment. Carry on.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
Varo's gonna. I mean, he's
Awesome
been here
stuff.
before. He's gonna see if he can get to the library and check out any information he can find on the origin of the Regar, as to which plane they might be from, or any legends they might have, that sort of thing.
So, Megan comes with
And
you,
obviously this
and
world tree thing.
yeah, Megan comes with you and introduces you to one of the team in the library. Otherwise, landing and then just sort of wandering in wouldn't be very welcome. So she makes sure that you've been before, all of you, but she makes sure that everybody remembers who you are and
I've got a
things are set
library card and everything, so I can just come when I want, can't I?
up. You can't.
Yes.
I mean, it's the library is
She-
you sit at a table, you ask a question, and they see if there's something for you. You can't just
I was gonna
peruse
return
volumes.
some books that I borrowed
Yeah.
last time.
She
Yeah, it's just not
reintroduces
that
you
kind
to
of place.
Father Kieran's Sanctuary, who's a male tiefling and the head of our study section.
What you have to remember is that libraries are very different things. The books are all handmade, hand produced by scholars. They are maintained where they can be. It's quite a different experience to modern printed books, right? So they head off and they try to find some works that are relevant, and they work with you for a few hours to look through these things. You find that they have scant information on the Regar, and it really is background that you pretty much already know. It's information that is of limited use beyond what you already know. In fact, there are things that you know that are in addition to the information that you can find here. Having said that, give me a moment. There is confirmation that they were once cephalopods, and what you do find is that they're from the plane of Isgard.
I wonder if there's also a plane called Asgard.
Come on, gotta get these barrels of salt, mutton, whatever. I don't know what this animal is. Do you know what it is?
Sand.
Ah, that's gonna be great.
Hmm.
And the plane of any descriptions on the plane of Isgard?
Not really. You know that it is a confederation of godly domains. So, but one thing that does catch your attention is that there's a mention of a cosmic plane spanning tree called Yggdrasil. And you wonder if this reference to that as part of Isgard is actually if that is the
Is that
tree
name
that's
going
being
in?
referenced here.
Oh.
You okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
So, is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Very good.
I don't know if it's useful information, but
Yeah,
good
could be.
context.
But you know a little more now.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions?
I don't have
If
any.
the world tree is made of ash and these people don't know what ash is, what happened to all the ashes of the world?
Right. Let's get. Sorry. Do excuse me, Christine, but
Australia wins.
Martin,
I'll just let you know now.
Martin you spoke first.
Um, yeah, she doesn't have any questions as such, but she does want to go and see Clara again to get her tattoo sorted.
Very good.
She wants to visit the while she's waiting for the map. Essentially, she's going to have a wander around and get her tattoo done, and then visit Father Asta, who's head of the bakery and pastries. So she's going to see what pastries are about. If there's any pastries to get.
It's going to be a
Alright.
damn sight better than the ones we found on Craxis, can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yummy. He's very talented.
Take a couple back for Sanam. She might enjoy those. And then she's gonna see if she can find Father Karen, because he's a tiefling, and she's not seen the tieflings in a while, so she might want to say hello and just chat for a bit while she's waiting for the map.
There are plenty of them about. I mean, you know, when you're at Craxis, you run into the odd tiefling here and there. They're just
She's not interacted
less
with.
common than certain
Yeah.
other.
She's not really
Father
chatted to any of
Asta.
them.
Father Asta Sharp, who you've just been to in the bakery, is a tiefling.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's a male tiefling. He's the head of the bakehouse.
Oh, it does say tiefling. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah.
Most delicious bakery. Yum yum.
He's a tiefling and a baker. Perfect. It covers both.
He is.
Covers both. Covers both aspects.
He only made hats.
Yes.
So,
Fill your boots.
Cool. Thank you. Oh, she's just waiting for the other.
after a bit
We
of
even have a
searching,
Goliath here.
After a bit, let's come back to the Ash answer in a second. After a bit of searching, the map is found and it's brought to you, and you look at it and you can't detect anything. It's a visitor's map. It doesn't have any. There's nothing particularly notable about it, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, she was looking for anything omitted or added, essentially, but otherwise,
Nothing that you can notice. It's probably a few years old, but
Yeah.
as in it's from some time ago. But the dates, you don't notice anything particular. There have been some changes to the city. Sorry, did you say it was a map of Enchant, or did you say it was a map of Flax?
It's kind of a touristy type map of Enchant.
Okay. It's just.
It's probably
Okay,
got
fine.
some little close-up, zoom-in sort of maps on the back. You know the way that these touristy
It's
type
not
things
even-
have.
Yeah, it's not even really the whole of Enchant. It's the continent of Moss, and it basically shows you where the locations of things are on the continent of Moss and the connections between them. So that's primarily what it is. There are some, as you say, there are some little cutout maps on the back that have a little bit more detail of certain places, but it's certainly by no means detailed. It is the sort of thing that is produced and sold to visitors.
As detailed as mine. You've got plenty of.
sketches in her book from where she's been exploring.
Yeah, I mean,
Places of note.
you have much better access to much better cartography. You have access to far more detailed things if you need them. Your own notes are more detailed than this.
Oh, could we
But-
also get hands on the notebook that the traveller had, and see if any of my colleagues happen to reckon any of the shorthand that's inside it? Is
Can't-
it something that
can't
triggers
find it.
anything in their brain?
They don't know where it is. It took them a while to find this, but other stuff has gone missing, so they don't really know what happened to her belongings.
Ah, that's just sad to say. Well, it was 10 years ago. I mean,
Mm.
it is
Yeah.
it is understandable.
They weren't keeping particular care of it. They were just sort of popped onto one side. It's not like we're not talking like some kind of super detailed we need to keep these records for future posterity type stuff. They're just not that organized with these sorts of things. These are belongings rather than information. The information is well organized, and they do have records of all the things, but they just didn't keep very good track of where all the things went.
It's probably somewhere in Brother Othronus's charge. He was, after all, given the task of he was given the task of looking into the box's mysteries, so he would probably have been using it to try and decipher, see if he could see anything that triggers with the box. And it's probably been lost since then. He is a little.
So, anything else that you want to know? Any other questions?
Check your chat, Megan.
I'm good.
Sorry, question. Sorry, Megan, you asked me the question earlier about if it's an ash. It is not an ash. It's known as the world ash, but it's not just an ordinary ash tree. It is said that it links the Eastgard and the prime material plane.
Uh-huh.
A lot of things to absorb right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are there
I
any
think-
other leads before we talk to the abbot? Are there any other leads or anything other things you want to follow up on?
I do. I ask
Mhm.
around to see if there are any Goliath that happen to be parts of this commune. I'm just interested.
There is.
And I do ask about, I think you've told us, and that's why I'm asking, because it's in the notes, and so I know there is one. And then I also want to know what the rights are for absolution here for the Oracle of Istus.
I'm gonna cop out and let John answer that one.
That's only fair.
The rights?
For absolution. How do you pay penance for your transgressions against universal norms?
Like repeatedly taking the name of a
Well,
God in
that's one.
vain.
That's one thing. That's low on my list. The many transgressions.
You strip
Sorry?
yourself to the waist. You take a flail with spikes in the end. You kneel down. And
Who's
you
telling
oil
me
the
this?
flail very
Is this
carefully.
Is this Shaggy telling me this? I'm not listening to Shaggy. Tell me this. He's told me the same type of thing before.
Just tie yourself up like this. Make sure that you can see your lunch. Yeah, I mean they have obviously a number of things that they do for absolution and penance, but not for, you're not a member of the order, so you know there isn't anything as far as they're concerned. You're should you have wronged the order, there would either be a criminal responsibility, or if it didn't rise to a particular level, then you would be expected to make a hefty donation. Although to be fair, these guys don't seem like they're poor.
So they've transgressed a lot then, these monks, if they're not poor.
No, other people have transgressed against them.
No,
No,
people just really like their ale. A good business going in. Ale
I
and
No, I didn't get to drink any
wines.
of it.
whoever the monk is I'm talking to, I'm saying that's disappointing. I had greatly hoped that I could maybe speak to this father who is of my same species and gain some form of absolution.
What is incredible? What is incredible to you is that you genuinely feel the best that you have mentally, probably in 10 years. That whatever the Regar gave you started you on a journey. It's given you a new insight and new introspection into yourself, or ability to introspect yourself.
Psychedelics are
And
great
for the
for
first time ever, you can start to forgive yourself for some of the things that you've been involved with.
And now I simply seek the forgiveness from others. I think I can see the reasons that I did what I had to do, but so be it.
Perhaps, perhaps the person that you should seek, or perhaps the god you should seek absolution from most is Istus.
Hey, Shaggy,
Of?
I'm going to this chapel.
We're going to the chapel?
That's implied.
We're going.
Love,
to
I think you're a great
chapel
bloke and all
we're
that, but I'm not
gonna get
marrying you.
married.
No. I mean, I'll hold your axe anytime, right? And I've got your back. But that shit there is exactly why you need absolution.
Anyway, I won't talk about the axe and the shaft and the tip or any of those other things, and I will instead go to the chapel. And I'll do the old go down in front of the statue of Istus and kneel down in contemplation. And in my own way, which is confused at best, do some basic absolution. And you can just imagine the tomfoolery that's going on in his brain as he's trying to do such a thing. And let's get go ahead.
But you head into the. I mean, it's far from a chapel. It's almost cathedral-like building, and there is a large statue of Istus at the far end. She stands tall with her hair flowing, and she's holding a card aloft, and she has this flowing robe, beautifully carved.
I'm trying to be pious.
Painted. You think it's probably a single block of marble. It's astonishing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It must be over 20 feet tall. And you approach the statue, and there's a small kind of offering area at the bottom, and you sort of kneel by it, and you look at these offerings. Shaggy, you're with him, and you see him walk up to these things. You see him drop one knee, and he's just sort of looking at the things. And you reach into a pouch and you pull out something. What do you pull out? What have you got that you would offer to Istus?
Oh, I do, or you said
You
we're
do.
talking to Shaggy? I do.
No, Lovlor, this is you. You're doing this. Could be coin. It could be anything, really.
So, not knowing the mores that I'm going to completely foul up, I'll just draw a dagger across my palm and drop some blood.
Okay. You do that. Make yourself a little, and you squeeze your hand, and some blood drops into the. There's a small, empty bowl. And it drops on there. You look up, and all you can see is that massive rack sticking out.
I'm trying not to say it.
And you just look up, and you're just looking. I mean, Shaggy, you can immediately see he's just staring at her boobs. And he's sort of there, and there's kind of a little bit of blood sort of dripping out from his hand. And then suddenly, this shaft of golden light bursts from this statue and just illuminates him. And you feel this incredible sense of calm, a strange feeling. As if Istus is looking at you. The statue hasn't moved, but you feel that she's looking down at you.
I keep looking up. I don't bow.
Yeah, no.
I gotta keep the blood dropping.
Oh, actually, you're just holding your hand, and it's sort of a little bit is leaking out, but just where your hand is, it's sort of stopping. And she looks down at you,
be a tent pole?
No,
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 that's not how this
nothing like that
works.
at all.
Well, it wasn't
He's
the
had a
power
religious
of Viagra that she hit you with.
Okay.
That's what you were thinking, weren't you? When you said religious experience, you were thinking, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
So-
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
just
you know-
wondering. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Hmm.
Not that I have much interest. Do we want to ask about Zem culture while we're here?
Mhm.
I thought last week you said he can go and fuck himself.
Exactly. I'm just throwing it out because we're here. If anyone else wanted to, scratch a curiosity itch,
I think-
otherwise, I would. I'm happy to leave it.
Okay. For me, potentially the only bounty that we get is what we will find on the way. It's not a paying job. So for me, quite happy to leave it.
Okay. I think jail is the only one we haven't completely covered. Is that right?
Have you got any tattoos, JL?
She has now.
What
Just a
about you,
little
Jay?
one. Just a little one up there. She's got a nice basket of pastries as well. Is there a
Interesting things tattooed on you.
well, yeah. Is there a delicacy specific that they make? Is there like a special pastry they do here that she can get a couple of?
Almost certainly.
She'll get a few of those.
Yes.
Yeah, she'll get a couple for Salnam and the crew.
Okay. Oh, they're not going to last.
Oh no. Oh, she's gonna lock two of them away.
It stuff is no, unless you put it in a bag of holding or something.
Fair enough. Well, she'll sketch them, and she can give them a sketch. She can give her a sketch.
Yeah, and then what you do is you sketch them, you scoff them, you write down all the feelings that you go through as you scoff this beautiful pastry, and all the experiences, and then you let her have that. So she basically gets to see what you went through.
Yeah. And if she wants one, she has to go to
Right.
to March.
I really enjoyed it, and here's how I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Pete. Would Varo like to ask the question about Zen?
No, not. I was asking if anyone else wanted to know. But
Megan does ask the question about Zem when she's in her meeting with the abbot. Okay. But
All right,
she is
so
asking
we're
it only, she mentions him to say, while we have been on our travels, we have run across a wizard named Zem Kalchar who, his name rings a bell from trading with us, but I seem to remember we cut ties with him. Can I check with you? Should we ensure that we stay clear of his path? Is he?
He was a wizard and a manufacturer of magical items. We had primarily bought potions, but a few other items from him over a number of years. But he became a little strange, very demanding, and quite aggressive towards us at one point, and so we stopped dealing with him. He seemed odd. Perhaps his pursuit of power led him to down a dark path. It's unclear to me. But I recall that he was from Takchen. That's where his warehouse and supplies were. I'm sure that we'll probably have an address for you.
Oh.
I'll get one of the acolytes to make a note of it and pass it on to you. Should you decide to look him up. But if you do, be careful.
Sorry, there's so many things coming at me this particular session. Okay.
That's a cut and paste from our chat, John. Just so you know.
Okay. Nothing to do with me then. It's to do your It's to do with the OneNote, is it?
No. That's in this chat in Roll20. I think we may have somebody else that's logged in and watching or something. Is that the case?
Nope.
Can't have. There's
Okay.
there's only
It
us
was
in
from
here.
me.
That's
It
from
would have
you?
been.
It says from Croylabo. How'd you do that?
I have no idea what that's about.
That's fancy. It's like somebody's like whispering to me or chatting to me, and I have no idea who this person is. That was awesome. Okay, carry
Did
on.
you get their number?
Should be coming as Megan Lightfoot, shouldn't it?
It says Megan Lightfoot here.
Mine says from that name that I put in.
Yeah,
there.
I can see it.
Lovlaw.
There's too many vowels there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? Yeah, I was completely. Yeah, it was like I don't know. Anyway, yours said Rob Sugarous.
God damn it!
Wait,
I'm
you
so boring sometimes.
You can't hear it because I think the microphone is blocking it out. But Christine is absolutely pissing herself in the other room. She's in hysterics.
It's like what?
So,
is
Christine, back
happening?
talking to the abbot.
Sorry, Pete, can you let them know I'm out? I seem to have... has happened.
Okay, so the abbot's not going to get a visitor then, is he?
Nope. You're.
All I can hear is Christine laughing. She's still at it.
I was like, what is this? That was, yep. Everybody else that says their names. That was the only two messages that came through, and I had one above from Megan that was fine. Zim Cultures.
Takchen. Where's Takchen?
Do we have a zip code for that?
Pete.
No.
Postcode.
Pete.
Where
Yeah.
is Taction? Christine, would you like to say where Taction is? No, clearly not.
Help, Pete.
All right, hang on.
I think she's wet herself, mate. I think that's.
You should turn down the ether into that room.
My mother was really susceptible to ether, and back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, you used to get cans of it to spray on like the inside of your car when you were.
It's done
With the engine, you'd
some
spray it
spring
with
as
this
well.
stuff that had ether in it. It was like this. And apparently, my dad had been having problems with the car, driving along, and my dad had opened the bonnet and sprayed some of the stuff on the inside of the car. Put the bonnet down, got back in the car, and my mother was like,
okay, so
he was gone.
Wow.
see, look,
He was out.
I get trapped on all these cables. Okay,
Yeah.
somehow or other, I have
So,
I see.
I can't do
Right,
anything
yeah,
with
obviously,
your
I didn't realize
OneNote.
I'd done that.
And it's you guys need to gather up this stuff and put it in the OneNote because then you'd know. So Takchen is on the southern end of the island of Bortala, which is the largest island on March. Okay.
Okay.
So at the south end, it's on the southern part of Bortala is Takchen, which is one of the major settlements of March.
So yeah, so apparently what Christine did was there's this bit at the bottom of Roll20 where it says as, and you have a little drop down box and you can select
What?
Yeah.
You can select an
Oh.
alternate.
Character. Yeah.
Oh,
How
that's
you,
awesome.
I'm assuming you do that in settings where you like maybe set up a.
But you have to realise, of course,
Name.
I've got little fat fingers, and I didn't realise I'd scrolled down to that and clicked on it in any way and changed who I was. So I didn't
love it.
realise that my messages were going out as, who is it, Crusty Maid Roll or something?
Rohi
Crusty Maid Boy?
Itatu.
So, and I still have no clue who this person is or how I managed to select them.
Tattoo.
It appears that you can pretend to be someone else.
I just saw that.
Yes.
So yes. Yes. So that was me. I was sending you those messages.
That's awesome.
It's good encryption.
I think somebody's like logged into our site and they're having a great time watching, I guess. But they're sending me some weird stuff. That's awesome. Cool. Carry on.
Yeah, there you go.
So, March.
Yes.
So, Pete, was it you who asked the question about where the hell is faction?
Yeah,
it's on the southern. It's on the southern coast of Bortala, which is the largest island on March.
she's on March.
Because March is islands, yeah.
Yep.
And it is. It's about probably if you flew there in your ship, it'd probably be about half a day to get there.
You get this weird thing where it's quicker to travel to like the asteroid belt than it is to travel to the.
Yeah. If you didn't have a ship that was
Somewhat.
lightning fast now, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's we've never found out actually what its airspeed is.
It's this one is much faster.
Give it a shot. Let's go.
I think it's
no, why-
75 foot per round instead of 35 foot.
It was previously 50 foot around.
50 foot
Yeah.
around.
So the Wasp is 50 foot around. This one's 200 feet around.
Oh,
Ooh.
gee. Buzz. Oh, wow.
It is quick.
Yes, it is very, very quick.
Excellent for outrunning all the people who want to chase us off a planet.
This is a great type of ship for moving expensive items from one place to another.
And
Yeah.
illegal cargoes. It's perfect
Bear in
for
mind
the
that
pirate
once
life.
you're in Wildspace, all bets are off anyway because you're on the super quick time speed. I mean, it's basically like about 80% the speed of light.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you're like, that's fast.
This ship once did the Kessel Run in 7 parsecs, despite that being a measure of distance.
Okay, so I've just added, if you look at threads on Adventures in Wildspace, I've just added the information about March.
Thank you.
Chris,
Appreciate it.
That Christine had last week. And I thought she was going to add to the OneNote, and she didn't bother.
I don't know about bother.
She was
Yeah.
busy writing. She's busy coming up with creative new stuff.
Yeah, but she only did that like half an hour ago, like half an hour before we started. So, and cut and paste don't take very long, guys. Come on.
The bit about the box and what we found and the mystery person traveller and all that stuff. Now that took all of this afternoon.
No.
That took from lunchtime on.
No. The stuff about March last week. I sent it to you.
Oh, that stuff. Oh, that took weeks to prepare.
What?
Because I was preparing that a long time in advance. Basically,
No,
I was
stuff
doing that
like-
since I started
Oh
creating my
God!
character.
What do you never read your messages, Christy?
What are we talking about? What?
Right, last week, before the session. Oh, sorry, during. I think it was during the session. I sent you.
During the session. You talked to me during the session?
Sent you some information about March, like a really, really, really like loads of information. Yeah.
Did you?
So that you could put it into the OneNote. And then I read it out to everybody. And then Anthony said to me, "Hey, sent that to us, and I went, it doesn't matter. Christine's got it. Don't worry.
Did you? That's the bad idea, sending things to me when I'm in the middle of working on my phone, my iPad, and 2 laptops. It's never a good idea to send me stuff.
That you can solve all these problems.
It's never a good idea because I'm always looking in the wrong direction.
I can't add anything to your OneNote. It's your OneNote.
Christine, would it be okay if we had a bit where John could add stuff to our OneNote?
Yeah.
As just
Definitely.
under GM?
Yeah.
I don't know how if you allow that, that sure would, expedite some of the information moving across.
I'd be looking at my technical director that's sitting there. He's looking all innocent, smiling.
I don't know what you can and can't do in terms of access.
That's fair enough.
I have no clue.
We can chat about that whenever.
Yeah,
All
just
good.
let me know. I mean, literally, this is just all background info, and I can just... It's all in there. It's all in the threads anyway. Yeah? So you've got the thread, background information thread, and some of the older threads as well, and the older pinned messages. You've got all the info about Flax, all the info about March. You guys have seen that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it come up in your...
I see it now. I mean, for some reason, this background information thing just was not popping for me before.
No, I know. That's why I was just asking, because you just pasted that in, so...
Yeah. So let me just see if I've got it in here. Yes. Yes, got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They go dormant
because I think
after a bit,
I think
don't they?
you've been
There's
talking
no
about background
activity.
information before, and I was like, "What? What background information?"
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
in
must
the
admit.
threads at the top. Rob showed me how that works.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not obvious, those threads.
Are we back to the ship? I know we're still talking other things, but I need to chat with Megan.
You
Okay?
think she's going to make any sense whatsoever? She's been spending time with her brethren. She comes back giggling and laughing, and she looks a lot less stressed than she did when she got arrived at the planet. She's looking much more relaxed.
Megan.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I do love this place. I put an arm
as do
around
I.
it.
As do I. This is.
Tell you what. I before I just guessed and whatever, but Istis she's pretty nice.
She is indeed. You just have to show her your heart, and
or give her
she
your
can
blood.
see.
I mean,
well, if that is how you wish to commune with her, that is just as valid. For me,
she spoke to
I
me,
have only ever
it
had to
was
show her my
really,
heart.
When she spoke to me, it was revealing, and I don't know what to think of it. Yeah, I was chatting with Istis in the chapel. Shaggy was there.
She spoke to you. You are very lucky. Not all have experienced her communication. It is rare.
Shaggy, did you hear what she said?
Yeah. You're very rare.
Yeah, well, it was something like that.
No, I've only ever met one of your kind.
Said something about changing the world, and I asked which world, but I didn't get an answer. And then, but only if you forgive yourself.
She just wants you to flog yourself off.
Oh.
I do not think that is quite what she meant, there. I think she is asking you to look into your heart and seek guidance from your inner voice. You are,
Yeah.
after all, the best person to direct your life.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Somebody else.
Okay.
Still think that she wants
So-
you to flog yourself.
Is there anything more that you want to say to the abbot?
So yes, I'm obviously going to fill him in on what we have discovered.
Indeed.
Shit.
The information the Regar gave us, the fact that they identified themselves as probably being the images that were shown, but they don't know where those sort of images would have been drawn. They feel that it was probably done as a copy of images that were seen, and where that would have been, they can't think of anywhere in our plane of existence that would have that. So yes, the wood, but they think the wood is probably from the world tree,
That's not what the Regar said, by the way.
isn't it? I thought that was what it said. They said.
No. The Regar did not say that bit at the end there. That's quite important. You've
What's
punted
that?
out
Sorry.
what the Regar said, but it's not what the Regar said. The Regar said that they believed that the whoever had crafted it had copied the designs from something historical, but they never said that it had been that thing was on a different plane. Does that make sense? Yeah. You just said the Regar said that it had been copied from something else.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to read through my notes.
But that was from another plane, and I'm
just,
like, they didn't say that.
I thought they had said that, but never mind. That's fine. That's fine.
No.
That's fine. That's fine.
No,
That's my
This
memory.
is the thing. Sometimes it's good sometimes to just talk these things through, because I'll say something and it will get. I won't realise that it's ambiguous, or it's this thing and this thing then get put together as a single thing when they're separate or whatever. But in that case, that's not what the Regar said.
Oh,
They just
sorry. No,
said that
they said
it had been copied.
this plane of existence is not where they began. Where they began,
Not where
there
they
is
began,
a,
as in that's not
yeah.
where the Regar.
where they began
Yeah.
was a plane of water and oceans. They were
So
not as they were not as we see them now.
So they were from Eastgard. They were from the oceans of Eastgard. Yeah.
Yep. So yes. Yep.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense.
Now, who's koi itati you
Maybe somebody else
itatu
figured out how to do the same thing.
kay itatu.
That was me.
Now
Carry on.
Kayuratu's hiding his messages.
That was me. Carry on. Oh, unless it was Rob. Nope. Koi Itatu was what? Oh, someone else hit it. Probably John.
GM's power of the GM.
That's awesome.
Power of the GM.
Carry on. That's awesome. You should have that ability as yep.
Who is Krauhi Ayabu? We still don't know. I want to know who JL is, though.
I know. Still been trying to find that out.
Right. So
Yes.
the abbot.
But yes. So
If
catch
you-
the abbot up on what we found. Yep.
Megan, I am suitably impressed by your progress. You've got further than anyone in what is really a short period of time. Your mission, your pilgrimage to understand this box, that is obviously the right thing for you. It is wonderful to see that when you were chosen by Istus, that your mission was the right one. It's wonderful. Well done. Incredible. And the team that you've put around yourself, they seem strong, strange, and oddly mannered in many ways. But they seem to support you and give you the strength that you need. Perhaps they were given to you by Istus too. It's wonderful. Truly wonderful. Please, keep going. If we can provide you any support or information, we will. But I fear that you are outgrowing even our archives. Travel well and stay safe. Okay?
Yep.
All right. I think we're going to leave it there for this week.
Very good. Very good.
If you got all the way to the end, we appreciate your support. Thank you for watching the NVRA whilst we bring you content of different games. If you like what we have done, please like and subscribe.